All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Call 2 of the 12 Days of Weight Loss. And today we are going to be talking about the 2 strategies to find fire and excitement to avoid stopping points. I went ahead and attached the PowerPoint presentation for today, and it is under the meeting resources. And so go ahead and grab that so you can follow along. And also I'm going to be attaching the previous calls there as well, so if you missed one, you can always find your recordings there. All right. So just a reminder, if there's something you want to comment on, if you want to give us information, if you want to ask questions, anything like that, please post all your comments to the Facebook fan page, which is just facebook.com/Total Body Health Solutions. And any wisdom you want to give to your friends and coworkers and family members and whomever, we'd love to share that information with them. And be sure to let them know about the event and the fact that they can sign up anywhere in the next couple weeks here, as obviously all the recordings are going to be available for them no matter when they sign up. And if you're going to be tweeting, use hashtag 12 Days of Weight Loss. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to contact us. All the information is there for you. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed what we spoke about yesterday when we talked about the one surefire way to create weight loss results when nothing else has worked, which was to think accurately. And I assigned a little bit of homework with that, so I would love to hear your comments and feedback on how that went for all of you. But today, let's talk about how we find fire and excitement to avoid the stopping points. So there's the 2 strategies to find fire and excitement to avoid stopping points are, 1, to gain clarity on your big why. Get really clear on why you're doing what you're doing in your life, not just around your body, but around why you're even here on the planet. What's the reason for your existence at this time? And number 2, to create your big vision. So first of all, let's talk about your big why. If you don't know your big why, there will be a point on your weight journey where you always stop. So why is that? So what I found with people is that when they've come to me and said, I don't know, I'm not losing weight, I'm not really getting the results that I desire, I'm not really sure what's going on, and I'll start asking them things about their life. Okay, so tell me about your career. And some of my clients, they have a fantastic career. They love what they do. They're very successful, and that part's fine. Some of them are in a job that they don't like, and maybe they're really stressed out and working really hard. So that can be either one. Then we start talking about relationships. What's going on with your relationships? Like I said, some people have fantastic romantic and friendships. Some people don't. And overall, there's something that's off. There's something in their life besides, their body and their health that just needs to be tweaked. That's not really in service to them to living the most incredible life. And getting really clear about what that is. Now, if you don't know, then that's the first place you want to start looking is what's off in my life. Like if I could wave a magic wand and say, the ideal life for me would be that I was doing this, that I had this, that I, was this person, etc. So getting really clear about what it is that you want. And then asking yourself, why? Why is it important that I have fulfilling relationships? Why is it important that I have a body that supports me in every way, shape, or form? Why is it important that I'm in a career that I love? And getting really clear about that, and then starting to look at what's happening in your downtime. One thing that I've noticed with a lot of my clients is that when I talk about hobbies or the way they spend their time when they're not working or not taking care of other people, and it's really like left with silence. Like there really aren't any hobbies going on. And remember, all of this is part of your big why because, we're all here to do a mission, and we have several avenues in which we can express ourselves. So, for example, obviously one of my big why for being here on the planet at this time is to, educate people on this information about their bodies and weight. But also, I am extremely, extremely musically driven. I play guitar, I sing, I write music, and it's something that I do for myself, and it's not something that's really part of my mission necessarily because I don't feel driven to go necessarily get my music out there. Like I don't feel like I need to let people hear my music in order to really give to society. I feel like it's something that just contributes to me as a human being, but it's still part of what makes me who I am. And if I'm not recognizing that part of myself, then there will always be something that's sort of void or missing. And when you're talking about your big why, it's really important that you're looking at all aspects of it, looking at your career, looking at your money, looking at your relationships, looking at your body, your health, your hobbies, your everything like that, and making sure that everything is in congruency. Everything's in alignment with one another. If you're not clear on your big why, or if you don't know your purpose for being here, your body doesn't need to be optimum. Like, if there's no reason, right? That your body is this vehicle in which it can help you get to where you want to go. But if you don't know why you're even here, your body's always going to kind of be like, well, there's really no reason for me to be ideal or optimal, because this person doesn't even know what they want or why they're here. So what's the point of transforming? Why go through all of that? I want this person to stand up and get out and do what they love, and then I will support them with that. So get clear about what is the reason for your body to even transform. It needs a reason to do that. It's not, the funny thing about weight loss is people think it's just this, we'll just eat less and move more. What's the big deal? But it's so much deeper than that. And recognizing that and letting it be what it really is so important, so that it is serving your big why. It is serving your reason for being here. It is supporting your ultimate reason for being alive. And when you can treat it that way, it really gives it absolutely no way to not perform. Because if you're like, look, I'm on a mission. I've got to help people do this and this and this, and having the weight that I have now does not allow me to serve my mission, then nothing's going to stop you. You are going to be on a mission. You're going to be driven. You're going to be like I got to get on stage. And in order for me to get on stage, I need to feel good about myself. And in order for me to feel good about myself, I need to feel comfortable. In order to feel comfortable, I need to work on this stuff. And ultimately, my body needs to transform. So it's all part of it. It all plays into it. You also want to give your body a reason to perform for you. So what are you meant to do in this world? How do you need your body to show up for you in order for this to happen? And these are some questions I put on a slide for you. What's the deep desire in your heart? What makes you different and unique? Why do you deserve your ideal body? Because you all do, but but some of us don't believe we do. So we need to connect to that. Why do I even deserve having this body? What is it about me that I need that body to be in my existence, besides the fact that I just want it? When you can really dig deep and connect your desire for a different body to something super, super profound, you literally will be unstoppable. Because a lot of people, when they decide to lose weight, it's because they've looked in the mirror or they've put on clothes and they feel so dissatisfied with that they go, that's it, I need to lose weight. But it's a little bit, I don't really want to say shallow, but it's not deep. It's not connected to something big. It's not connected to your mission, your purpose. That's got substance to it. So that's really, really important that you find that to connect it to. Next, you want to create your big vision. So, I gave the example of wanting to be on stage, because I've actually had quite a few people hire me because they want to be well-known speakers on stage, and they feel really uncomfortable in their bodies. And so, when you're really envisioning what you want for your life and you're creating your dream, it's not just, I want my body to be smaller or different. It's what do you want that life to look like? And so I'm going to run through an exercise with you. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and, put your feet on the floor and get really grounded and, take some deep breaths and let your mind be as clear as you can right now. Really allow yourself to be in the moment. Put your stuff down, shut your eyes, put your hands in your lap, open and ready to receive, and allow your feet to ground into the floor. And if you've done this exercise with me before, I invite you to do it again and see what comes up for you today. So I want you to really focus on your deep breaths. Really feel your stomach. Feel your exhales. And allow yourself to be connected to the earth. And I want you to picture your ideal body. I want you really to bring it into your mind. What does this body look like that you want so bad? And when you see that body, notice if it's clear, if it's fuzzy. What's the emotion of that person that's standing in front of you? Is that person's face current, or is it from the past? Is it a 16-year-old you, or is it really a current version of your face on the body that you desire? What's going on inside of your body? What emotions do you notice? And what's going on around you? Are you in the same environment? Does that person have the same career, the same relationships, the same house, the same environment? Who is this person? If you could start to notice some differences between that person who's in their ideal body and yourself, what can you really take away? Maybe ask that version of yourself some questions that you want answered. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath and open your eyes. And what I invite you to do is to let that picture of your ideal body and life become so clear that you can connect to it whenever you need to. This vision of, it's not just about seeing it, because maybe some of you can't even see it. I'm not very visual myself, and so when I do visualization, a lot of times I don't see things really clearly, but I can feel things and I can hear things. So I kind of use some other senses, and use the whatever works for you. But you need to really feel this vision. You need to be able to. It needs to feel real. It needs to feel possible. It needs to feel like it's where you're, not even where you're going. It's like it's already here. Like this version of yourself is already inside of you. It's just about peeling back some of the stuff that's not you in order to reveal that version of you that you know is there. And it has to be really, really crystal clear. And what is that person doing? What are they experiencing? What are they feeling? What are they thinking? What are their beliefs and values? What are their patterns and habits? What do their days look like? Because the truth is when we're looking to peel back, some layers of weight or excess fat, the truth is that you're revealing a new person. It's a different person in a lot of ways, right? Because this person lives a different life. They make different decisions around food, around exercise, around their body. They make different decisions out of a place of, trust and not fear. So it's a very different existence. And what I would like you to do is to let this vision become so real that you can bring in all of the senses. And then what happens is, whenever you feel fear, whenever you're in that moment where, maybe you do put on a pair of pants that, are too tight, and you put them on, and you say, God, I can't do this anymore. It's so uncomfortable, and why can't this work for me, and what's wrong with me? And you start to go in that space of this is never going to happen. It's like you bring in that vision. You're like, no, because I can see this. I can see what's possible for me. I know that this person's inside of me. I am sure of it, and I expect this to be my reality. And overriding the fear. The feeling of fear might always be there, but you can override it with this connecting to your vision, connecting to where you want to go and being so clear about where you want to go that it's like nobody can tell you otherwise. So your fears, when they creep in, it's like, actually, that's not true. I know it's not true. I know none of that is true. And the reason why I know it's true is because I've got this vision. Like, where did this vision come from? Where did the desire to have that body and that life come from? It had to come from spirit. At least in my belief, it does. So if it comes from spirit and it comes into your mind, it has to be possible. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been planted there. And if you're having a hard time visioning, it doesn't mean that you can't have the body that you want. It just means that you need some practice. So my homework for you for this section is to practice. Every day, connect to this vision or find ways to have fun with it. I like to do vision videos where I create, pictures and music and everything that would support where I want to go. Like, let me create this life that I am not currently living, but I know that I'm going to be living as soon as I can get out of my own way. And what does that life have in it? And then putting really powerful music to that, because that's how I connect to my feelings and my emotions. People do vision boards. People journal about their vision. So find what works for you and do this daily. Really, the more you can connect to your vision, this is what, I'm pretty sure, and I've not done my own personal research, but I've heard that when it comes to professional athletes, if they don't envision themselves winning, if they don't envision themselves making that, that three-pointer at the buzzer, then it's almost impossible for them to do it. Like, they have to see it in their head first. And this is really common with a lot of competitors. And it's the same thing with anything you desire. It has to be seen in your mind first in order for your mind to be going towards that. So that's today. So, really get clear about your big why and your big vision and allow that to be the motivating factor to get you to where you want to go. So kind of throw out some of the vanity stuff, and not that you don't deserve to look good, because you do, but it's so secondary. It comes no matter what, as long as you're focused on the big, deeper things going on for you. So that's today. So just like I said yesterday, what I'm doing is I'm wanting to learn more about you and kind of what's going on for all of you. I'd love to connect with you, learn more about sort of your journey, your stopping points where you get stuck, and help you move through that. So definitely jump into the complimentary breakthrough session if you have not already signed up for that. It is free. It's a way for me to connect to people, for me to learn about people, kind of see what people are experiencing, and, of course, give back, because that's what this time of the year is for. So go ahead and sign up for that, totalbodyhealthsolutions.com/breakthrough session, and I look forward to chatting with you guys on the phone. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend, and I will be here at 4 o'clock on Monday, and we will be talking about the 3 ways to ensure that you get it right this time. So enjoy, and have a great rest of your night.